And so I've studied a lot of politicians in the past, in the MPP, in the NDC, and I've realized the mistakes they made. Yes, they will always say, "Oh, Charlie, when I become MP, I'll be different. I'll do this. But mind you, 4 years is just the day after tomorrow. We all don't have time. We all have to work. And it is by making that impact, because judging by the results that came in, you can't fool the people all the time.
Abusuafo na kamia yese eye mrahye bedwafo ahodo ayeto omo so abomudi nkunim je so omo first interview mu gusu a omo grant no nam so ama eye honorable eye John Dumelo ono enejira mu ma o manfo ewo ayawa so West Wogon edema NDC amanyoko na chese nyame ye nadum amodi nkunim enei ena chese wo anti-dusty program so no friend na chese one na epese twetwe enkomo eno nam so amode se bebre na atudwa ewo dwumadie no so wo se nia ne mfafo eye mrahye bedwafo ahodo eye ya omafo etuti a wo no wasua nema bebre afimu nti no sese no betutu nanamo yi ayade a ebetimi ato wo manfo ewo eye ayawa so West Wogon senia omo eni beje nnuma ho yie pa ene se bebre na ene ka we hu a eye onmonyafo John Dumelo edetu dwa sese ono na yato no so aba ese eye parliamentary candidate elect for ayawa so West Wogon in some outdoor edetu dwa anse ne beka kotie no na me kan for tap send ede ama tap send ese bronya beye do bronya ebeye de adense ni nyina ene se tap send ede sambra promo ede aba ni nyina ene se wo de tap send eye transactions no na ye chewa chede bebre ebi ni airline ticket ene ne yakeka ka ho nyina enti no se wonya and download the tap send a kodan download the tap send if you app store and as a play store na fa Adepa TV ayo promo code na fi asefa your transactions such as sambra promo yi a chede wa waso yi tap send ebetimi ache obi wa bra wo de tap send ayo transactions ahodo nyina yenko tesima wodo bia aye honorable John Dumelo ede abetudwa.
My boss, what's up? Morning.
Okay, sorry, honorable. Honorable,
I beg, just call me John. I beg you.
Oh, but why?
Hey. Oh, I beg you.
No, but you can't run away from that, right?
Oh, I'm trying to run away from it.
Why?
Oh.
You don't want to be known as honorable?
Yeah, I just want to work and make an impact. The people who then call them honorable for MPP inside, we they lose them a seat.
What was the reaction when it came out that you had won? Earlier, you know the Charlie be like John Dumelo no win, no be like Charlie.
Yeah.
But when it came out that finally you had won it, what was the reaction?
Well, anyway, good morning to everybody. When the polls closed at 5, I remember I was on Legon campus, and I was at Liman Hall, and surprisingly or coincidentally, Lydia was also there at the same polling station. But when they just started opening the ballot box, I just left, and I went to our collation center, our private collation center, and the first result I had was from Roman Ridge, and they said I'd won. I was like, okay, cool. Then the next one started coming, and so let's say about 10 polling stations started coming in, and it of course it was very positive. I was winning. I said, okay. Then I started getting very nervous.
But had it not happened before, even with the previous elections, like
no. Previous election there, Charlie. If one come for me, then 2 for Lydia, 1 for me, 2 for Lydia. So, so then we kept on monitoring, and then we realized that, look, after 100 polling stations, I had won all the polling stations.
Wow.
Yeah, and, I was leading. But we have 244 polling stations. And so that was when I thought, okay, I'm clearly winning. But, the other thing that popped into my head was, okay, once they see that I'm winning, they'll probably try and rig or whatever. So I was very nervous. And then finally, all the results came in, and, I realized that I've given them a gap of 13,000. So, yeah.
Charlie, congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Well fought race, man. Hard.
I'm telling you.
Hard.
I'm telling you. Yeah,
What is it with the... Okay, I've heard a lot of, especially NDC folk, talk about, Reagan, we all know they were Reagan. Even Sami Jemfi had made certain statements. And that thing had run through most of their statements. So we all knew they were rigging. You also just mentioned that you thought that there will be some rigging. What made you think that there will be some rigging, despite your leading?
Anything can happen. The point is, at the end of the day, it's the pink sheet that matters. It's the figures on the pink sheet that matters. Now, when you realize that you are losing, you can now find your way and manipulate the figures on the pink sheet. And it's the pink sheet that will be tabulated or be used to, finally declare who is the winner. And then if you have any problems, you go to court. But we didn't want to go to any court. And so rigging, we tried as much as possible to stop the rigging from the MP because we now know how they rig. And based on that, we were able to counter it. And so that was our fear. And so until we're declared, I made sure that, Charlie, nothing comes in. I mean, at a point in time when we were at the collation center, a box full of ballot papers came in, about 2,000, and all of them, of course, was for the MPP. And I must commend our foot soldiers and sympathizers who were there to stop it. I mean, they literally tore open the ballot box and tore all the papers outside. Nothing will enter that collation center. And so rigging is always part of their game.
But if all of these truly happened, why didn't you report it to the police, or were there no security presence?
Oh, you mean like the ballot boxes and
yeah, that's right.
Oh, the police were there, but let's destroy it first before we report to the police, because at that point, going to report to police, before you go and report and come back and write statement and come back, now we lose the election. It's just best to address everything there and then later you can do the police report.
Let me backtrack a bit. Just before the main elections, with the special voting exercise, it was alleged that Lydia was sharing some goodies.
Yes.
And she later on came to deny that was false.
Yes.
And you were spotted in the video saying that was pure stupidity and it was something that was uncalled for.
Right.
When you saw all of this, did that shake you? Did that make you think that you were going to lose already?
You mean when they were sharing the food in the queue?
That's right.
I mean, no, it's not about knowing that I'll lose. It's about there are laws that have to be followed or abided by, and you can't just people are queuing, and you can't just be there and be sharing food and be sharing other things and hugging them and whispering into their ears, God knows what, when everybody is seated. I mean, that's purely disrespectful to everybody. And so for me, it wasn't about I was going to lose. It's about let's all obey the laws. Let's have a level playing field, because, I mean, everybody can be dirty, but let's all have a level playing field and let's all abide by the rules and let's all follow the instructions of everybody. And
but so people had also felt like, but you jump, it's a strategy. I mean, yeah, when it comes to, it's just like playing football. Someone will want to dribble his way through. Someone want to score with long shots. If someone has devised a strategy and is likely to win with it, why complain? Why don't you also come up with a strategy?
Yeah, but not at the expense of the law. You can't break the law. I mean,
right.
It was purely breaking the law. And so if I also come up with a strategy, I will be breaking the law. And so you don't, I don't know, sometimes you don't fight crime with crime, pretty much. And so that's why I was just cool and calm about it. But I think it was at that point when she was sharing and everything and whispering into people's ears and sharing money and things. It was at that point that I knew that she's lost the election from the onset. Because if you know you've worked, if you know you've been a good MP, if you know you've whatever, you deserve another term, you don't have to go. Why are you sharing food and money and rice and oil and all those things? And of course, clearly it backfired at the end.
John Dumelo, before I let you go, you mentioned earlier in our conversation that, you just don't enjoy the honorable thing, but you are here to make an impact. Come to think of it, which impact do you think you can make with this newly elected parliamentarian?
Well, it's first and foremost representing my people and representing the constituents of Ayawa SOS, which is very important. And they have so many needs,
Like what?
Water issues. There are a lot of places that are dark. sanitation, and so on and so. I mean, the youth need employment and so on and so forth. So there are so many problems in Iowa. So even though some people think that it is the most elitist and the most developed constituency in the country, but there are so many problems. And so the impact is after the 4 years, people should be able to sit down and say, "Oh, John tried. I mean, he became our MP and he's done incredibly well." And so that is the impact I want to leave in my first 4 years.
John, we've heard from a lot of MPs and politicians. Oh, when I'm voted for, I'll do A, B, C, D. Yet they go there and the usual. What shows you make a difference?
What will work for me is the mistakes of the past politicians. And so I've studied a lot of politicians in the past, in the MPP, in the NDC, and I've realized the mistakes they made. Yes, they will always say, "Oh, Charlie, when I become MP, I'll be different. I'll do this. But mind you, 4 years is just the day after tomorrow. We all don't have time. We all have to work, and it is by making that impact. Because judging by the results that came in, you can't fool the people all the time. You might think you're in power. You might think you have all the money. You can throw the money around. You can buy goodies for the people. Tell them to vote for you. But if they don't want to vote for you, they will not. They'll collect the things and they will not vote for you. And that is the mantra at the back of my mind. I don't want to be that kind of MP that when I'll disappear, then election time I'll come around and be sharing rice and oil and all those things. And besides, when I started campaigning, a lot of people said, "Oh, it's only because of elections. And that's why he's coming around. But when he wins, you see, he will not come around again." And so these negative comments actually inspire me to be a better MP, to be a better politician, and to represent Iowa West well in Parliament.
John Dumelo, thank you very much for talking to us. I'm so grateful.
But which seat are you contesting for in 2020?
I beg, please don't put me there. I beg you.
I hear you. Independent candidate.
Maybe.
Any day for you.
All right. You want to talk to him? Robert wants to ask you a question. Please go ahead.
Your congratulations, John.
Thank you so much, sir.
Honorable, eh?
Right, honorable.
I have two questions, and the first one is, so you've been in entertainment, and obviously comes with this particular, some people place you in a box, entertainer. What do you have to do with leading the country in terms of, taking on the political appointments or, providing service to the people in that particular capacity? So let me ask, how did you break that particular mold or box to make the people think that you are not limited by the fact that you are an entertainer?
When people make such statements, no, you are not making that statement, but a lot of people make that statement. I see it as a little bit disrespectful because you have lawyers, you have doctors, you have businessmen in Parliament. At the point in time, we even had hairdressers in Parliament. But it's about representing your people. It's not about your occupation or what you do. Your career shouldn't define you or shouldn't put you in a certain box. It's about how well you represent the people. And so the funny thing is, people will say, "Oh, now we're so trusting your corridor or Parliament, so we entertain your corridor or Parliament." But the same politicians are the same people who will come to entertainers to endorse them during political seasons and political campaigns because they know how powerful entertainers can be. And so for me, that stigma is just one of those things that when people say it, I just laugh about it. But all in all, it's for us to be in Parliament and succeed and represent the people well.
So my next question, which is my last one, at what point did you believe that you yourself as a person could actually contribute to, helping the people within your constituency?
I think it was after the 2016 elections when I had campaigned around the country with President Mahama and some other celebrities. I think it was after that I realized that, it will be very important for me to also represent my people in Parliament, because by that time I've gone around the country, I've seen what the reality on the ground, I've seen what the people need, I've seen what they don't need, and so on and so forth. So I think it was after the 2016 elections that I realized that, I would want to be a member of Parliament.
Right. Okay. Honorable, please, when will you pay me a visit? Because, you know, we've had this outstanding or long distance relationship of coming to the studio to...
You want me to come to the studio?
No.
Oh, maybe, sure.
Hey, John.
But I know probably me the terminal hotel and one our pump for January 17th.
Congratulations, my friend.
Congrats,
man. I'm proud of
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
I was here for some more John Dumelo, honorable, as I said, the Yatuno so a bass, Uncle Can a mouthful, I was West Wagon, and Sam and Mom, our Rashabi fee, and no more Sam out there to John and your Connie Kuti. Mrs. Thomas to have a comment as was here, also share no cut off for Sustain via Sabet Miaka video epi. Meaning the abnos from our crummy business share epi.
Mr. Mankwa, me offer was a niska bania de any project. As to the be a me offer sick a man your problem.
Enemremu. Namonte tap sending can.
No so nedia.
Tap send ye easy, fast and secured way. Who bet me a send this free amanone. Aba Ghana bank account and as a mobile money account. Untia transfer fee via.
Sir, I will buy any say.
Chinese won't call App Store na Play Store. On download the tap send app no. Or download ya. Ebebu sanso promo code. Oma the pet TV shim. Obenya €5, £5, and answer $10 on his first transfer.
And you make quack friend a catch them.
Tabi minyanwe. Esanse tap send at the good news aba. Tap send the giving the customers wanti or the tap send wallet aba.
I know about any say.
So your customer who you cases here. Ubeti mi ako tap send app no create wallet also. Enti se rate ne kosora now the sika ko gu wallet no. Anase mpo betimi atususu nkakra enti abere sema opeso send sika ba Ghana no anse wa send sika na ba Ghana anase oba o my Ghana mu watimi use sika e wo wallet no tie
and you said to say you use momo Ghana haydo
sa pepe se si tap send that trena shim kopiem wo United Arab Emirates, Netherlands and Austria. Tap send na papa no.